You know, students aren't the only ones heading back to school. The teachers are too, and this morning we're taking a look at a serious topic, teacher burnout. A recent poll shows that more than 40% of teachers feel burned out always or very often. So what do we do about the burnout? Joining us now to talk about it is Dr. Anna Brown with Pathlight Mood and Anxiety Center. Doctor, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Owen. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Good. All right. Hopefully you're not stressed, and I'm not yet. We're not back to school yet. So let's start with this topic. I'm maybe not surprised that teachers feel always or very often burned out, 40% of them. How do they know if the stress level's normal or if it is too high?
Well, first, Owen, I really think it's important just to acknowledge and to normalize that it's really common for teachers to experience stress. You know, they have a lot going on, and that transition from summer to the back to school schedule can be a big adjustment in and of itself. And with teachers balancing so many different responsibilities and their focus usually being on others instead of on themselves, I think sometimes their own needs get put last, and that can make them so much more vulnerable to the impact of stress or anxiety and then lead to burnout. So I think it's helpful to really highlight the difference between what is stress and what is anxiety and what is burnout. Stress is something that is typically caused by an external trigger. So that could be something short term, like a work deadline, or something long term, like a chronic illness. And people under stress experience mental and physical symptoms like irritability, anger, fatigue, muscle pain. They can have digestive issues and sleep disturbances. Anxiety, on the other hand, is really identified by the persistent, excessive worry about things not going well. And that can occur in the absence of a stressor. So it's a little bit different than stress. But what's important to note is anxiety can show up in the body just like stress does. And then burnout is when we've had chronic stress for a really long time. And this really gets us to a place of complete mental fatigue. We feel the emotional and physical and social kind of burnout and exhaustion from living in chronic stress.
Yeah, so it sounds like, in some ways they're sort of all related. So what are some ideas to reduce whether it is stress or the anxiety? Do we treat them differently or the same?
Really the same. So it all comes down to self-care, right? And we shouldn't reserve self-care just for times of crisis. It really needs to be something that's part of our regular routine kind of health maintenance to help us maintain our functioning. I kind of think of it like that analogy of the oxygen mask. You know, if you've ever flown with children, they tell you you have to put your mask on first before you assist your child. And I think of self-care in the same way. We have to be able to take care of ourselves, or we're not going to show up in the classroom with the kids the way that we want to.
Doctor, any suggestions for teachers and staff to have a calmer transition back to school? Is this something they should start now before all the kids flood the classrooms?
Absolutely. Yes, we've got to prepare our bodies for the transition, and that can start with getting back on a kind of school schedule now, even in the summertime. So we want to get our sleep back on a school schedule. We want to be taking care of ourselves, eating well. We want to, get back to routines with maybe exercise, if that's a way that you find kind of relieves stress. And it's also important to make time just to process your emotions and what's going on, set boundaries for yourself, like having realistic to-do lists and knowing when to say no to obligations, and just support yourself with good self-care.
Yeah, it might be easier to do too now with the summer. There's a little break. You get a little time for yourself. Before you go, Doctor, can you tell us a little about the Pathlight Mood and Anxiety Center and where people can go to get some help?
Absolutely. Pathlight Mood and Anxiety Center is a specialty center that focuses on the treatment of mood issues, anxiety, and trauma-related concerns. And we're conveniently located in the Woodlands Medical Center. We offer in-person care as well as virtual care. And you can find more about us on our website, pathlightbh.com.
All right. Dr. Anna Brown, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Owen.